Hello and welcome to the 14th Eisen Index public debate. This debate is to ascertain and quantify traits of several Hearthlander cultural pillars. This debate is brought to you by the Große Deutsche Eidgenossenschaft, Reichtum, Hingabe, Treue und Kraft. This debate is commissioned by the Hainaut Council Commission on Index Debate, a for-profit, heavily politicized organization of which I'm a member, and this debate will last however long it takes to index a number of topics predetermined at the drafting. Presently, yours truly, the literal god, is joined by our two normal hosts, returning debaters, Warcries and Sarn.
Pick.
No, just Sarn.
Alright, good news, War. The stream's fine, and you didn't forget to turn on audio for the intro this time, so...
Very
like
nice.
last
It's going to be a standard, I think, tonight, because I don't feel like doing
I
a
agree.
literal god's choice
I agree.
additionally. I think there are some very dense topics that we're going to get into that have been reviewed by both myself and Sard
By
as of
everyone.
recently.
Yes.
Yes, although Warcries has had the most global experience with all of what we're going to review tonight, I think. Okay, I'm going to flip the lucky trump coin, but seeing
You
as
got it
how we
back?
don't... No.
You lost it.
Actually, wait. Holy shit, it actually is right here. It's hidden under my copy of the Communist Manifesto as it happens.
Lou would be very
Well,
proud
that's
of that.
ironic.
No, unironic. Like Kathy actually got me a copy of
Yeah, I
the Communist
realized, but
Manifesto.
the Trump coin hidden under the copy of the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of Hindu books here that I debated and won from a yogi. So, Sri Istopanisad,
Oh, is this
which
the
is
yogi you told me about?
yes. Although I don't necessarily know if he was a yogi or just a monk. I don't fucking know the delineation. Okay. Heads, Warcries, tails, Sard. Tails! Sard goes first.
Yay.
Is the music playing or did I just meet Fred?
It is. It is.
Okay.
I have
Great.
muted, but I'll turn it on.
Okay. Bass soundtrack. Yeah.
Okay. So, let's get started, boys. Alright. Ard. So, I know everyone's been wanting to do this 2 topics that everyone wants to discuss in thick today. And we get 6, right?
Yeah, between the
Okay.
two, yeah.
Well, I guess we won't wait. I have some other topics for later. Okay, fine. One thing I want to see what Aramis's opinions are on. I know he talked about it a lot when it came out. I've seen it about a little over a year ago. Let's do Loki, the TV series.
Loki, the TV series. I'll go ahead and duplicate Cyberpunk.
I'll get an image. I have renewed my Disney Plus subscription today, so I will finish those Marvel shows.
I will say, while it is a complete experience, technically, I have watched it all. It was super unmemorable for me. Like I got the gist, but it's very, very convoluted. Okay, so Loki as a character throughout the entirety of Marvel, and Hiddleston as an actor in person as well, is a good character. This made me question that assumption a little bit, but even after completing this, I maintain that Loki himself is a good character. Now, I don't even remember the arc that this series was about. I know that Loki gets trapped in Doctor Strange level time prison, gets sent off to this agency, and then fucking meets a female version of himself when they go through these little one-off adventures, and that's basically all I remember about this. The fact that I can't remember anything more about it means that it's bad. I'm gonna give the story a D. Characters, like I said, I actually don't mind the characters in this at all. We get the new character by Mr. Wow himself.
He
And
remains. All right.
yeah. I actually think he's a good character. Everyone else is fantastically unmemorable. So just stick with Loki and him, and it's fine. The lack of an overall cast that does much more than that, at least in my memory,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Hero games,
Kang's
yes.
pretty. Yeah,
The middle was
there's just a
shit.
bunch. There's just a bunch of red shirts. Like, I'm glad they brought in Kang, but we'll give characters a C, maybe a B. I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like there was a lot of rich soil here that was just untilled, so I'm gonna give it a C. The writing and acting of this show, the acting itself was actually pretty good. But the writing in Marvel has just decayed so terribly, and it wasn't even just in Loki either. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier suffered from this. Fucking all of the Defenders series suffered from this. Even some of the constituent ones in the Defender series suffered from this. I think the only well-written shows of those two were Jessica and Daredevil. But back to Loki. The writing is what tears this score down. I'm going to give writing and acting, because I can't remember any singular line from this show, a C. The visuals, Marvel actually does a quite nice visual thing, and the ambient scenes are quite nice. The, shall we call them spell effects, if we want to talk about that, are okay for Marvel, which is great. I remember how one entire instance was shot on the train or whatever it is.
I
and
hate
the
that.
entire scenery. That it didn't serve its purpose well, but the visuals surrounding it were actually pretty good. So I'm gonna give visuals a B or an A, probably close to. I'm gonna go with a B. The direction, what even? The entire direction of the show is ridiculously convoluted. I love mind-bending styles of things. Like, I'm a Shyamalan fan. That should tell you how much I like convolution. This is even way past my ability. The score sound design, they clearly took some things from Ragnarok, but the score for this show was decidedly not very memorable. Honestly, I can't think of instances to judge because they're just that not memorable.
See them?
Yeah. Yeah, like it's professionally produced, all that stuff. Marvel is very good with that sort of thing, but it holds not a candle to most other Marvel themes. I guess I'm just gonna give this a B. The uniqueness of Loki. You remember a similar show that I had this castigation for? Once you try to be too unique by doing everything, you become ununique. I am actually going to hit Loki with the same paintbrush that I hit Ninjago with this. The plot line itself, for what little of it there is a good plot line. There was nothing really existing like it, but that doesn't make it good. So I'm gonna give them a pass on the uniqueness part, but watch it. The refinement of this show, I don't really know. It's well edited. I don't. Again, there's like nothing that sticks out in my mind as a terrible or a great. I don't remember there being any sound quality issues. I don't remember there being any cutting issues. I don't remember there being any Game of Thrones coffee cups left in on the end of tables. We'll say that, considering I don't even remember the schedule over which this came out, all of these Bs, these like last 3 Bs, and to an extent the characters and or the writing and acting piece as well, is actually just because I don't remember shit good or shit bad about this series in a lot of these categories. Okay. It's kind of a lackluster one, really. You don't get basically, how I found that the Eisen Index reviews go is that it's like a reversed Pareto distribution, where you have shit tons of cringes and shit tons of keks relative. and you have comparatively few like middling C type things and low C type things, which it looks like that's where this is going. What do you guys think? Stard, you suggest this war, go ahead. Yeah, same. Very uncompelling, shall we say. Yep. Like, Falcon and Winter Soldier was more memorable than this. That's bad.
Falcon's good.
Yeah. I agree.
C minus.
Mm-hmm. I was almost tempted to bring writing and acting down to a D. There's also a universe where I knock all of these 3 Bs down to a C because of the fact that it is Marvel, and that all of them should be basically scaled in memorability because it's Marvel. Now, if we're to cast that against everything else on this scale, like let's look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had a very memorable score sound design.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's 1 tier above it. Rings of Power had a very memorable score and sound design for all my criticisms of Rings of Power. It's 1 tier above it. Let's take a look. When's the last show he did before that? Jesus Christ. Regular show. Whoa! Is more memorable than anything that happened in fucking Loki's sound design. I'm actually gonna nerf it.
Hey.
I think Uniqueness goes down with it too. Sard, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. I agree with most of this. Yeah, very unmemorable. I've seen it more recently, so I kind of remember the storyline. I think the more exciting thing about Loki is the resolution more than the actual plot. I thought the middle was dog shit. Oh my god. I don't think Sylvie was horrible. She's an okay like introduction to like the concept of like variants and all that.
I
Loki's
distinctly remember sitting in a Warframe classroom aboard the Zariman 10-0 and doing literal homework regarding eternalism that was more clearly written and more compelling and interesting than this fucking show.
Yeah, so some cringe characters like everyone. Obviously, Kachow was okay, but everyone else in the TVA was cringe. I don't think. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they're it's getting a season 2 coming up, so I hope it can redeem itself. But it's coming out this summer. I think it was delayed like a couple days ago though. Yeah. This and Moon Knight, I think, are the only renewed Marvel shows. Yeah. Well, Moon Knight was pretty good, but we don't talk about that. Yeah, so overall, I'd say bad introduction to the timeline. It just made everything so confusing. I mean, I'll admit, though, it has a chance to redeem itself. Based off what we saw in the end credits scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, it seems to be going in a good direction, but we'll see. Yeah. I don't really have any things I'm going to change. Yeah.
I'm going to give Loki a D+. Any objections?
No.
Okay. Ward, go ahead. I'm going to put on a fucking shirt. Hold on.
Naked cowboys in Ram Ranch.
I can still fucking hear you, Mini-Me.
So what are you planning on doing now?
Yeah. Okay, Ward.
Ooh, person.
Let's go with person. Okay. Okay, let's do Lincoln. Why not? Guess that would just be a parcel. Here we go.
Lincoln who? Are we doing?
Lincoln Park.
Oh God, no! You know what that is? No, I was wondering.
Lincoln, my skin.
Which Lincoln?
These wounds they will not heal.
Are we talking about Lincoln from the Loud House, or are we talking about? Okay, there's two options. I'm gonna do...
Okay, we're reviewing Chester Bennington.
Okay. Yeah, there's two. I'm gonna do the meme option first, and I'll do the action. Okay, fine. Okay.
This is spelled Lincoln.
I'm getting it. No, I already knew I was gonna look up. Okay, here's what I was. Oh, I can't do it. Like, give me a second, Ward. No, I already knew. I already had the image downloaded, but I did have something dumb for after that. Hold on. I'm getting
To
both
be
of them.
clear, we are in fact doing Abraham Lincoln, the human individual, not Abraham Lincoln Vampire the Hunter the movie, not
That
Abraham
wasn't
Lincoln
the movie,
Vampire
though.
Hunter from the movie, not Abraham Lincoln, or not Lincoln the movie.
Yes, this is the image I was gonna do. More.
Okay. They're actually pretty good movies, hilariously
They're
enough.
decent, yeah.
Say, very HD Lincoln picture.
But the one I was gonna do, War Cries. You probably none of you have any idea what this is, but whatever.
Okay, Abe Lincoln's relevance to the literal god. I know of him. I know him. I know. Well, I don't like know him, but get the fuck out of here with that Sarfnik. Gone. Banned. Points. Cringe. Like, Eisen index rating reduction. Gone. Okay. I'm going to give relevance to the literal god an A. He is brought up constantly. He is a central historical figure. I imagine his relevance to many other people is A or higher as well. Certainly, black people, his relevance apparently is a keck, seeing as how they want to tear down his statue now. Philosophical merit of Abe Lincoln. I honestly don't know that I've read too much direct Lincoln transcript, but there is something to be said for, regardless of the convenience of it, the willingness to do what he did anti-slavery wise. I am large fan, and despite my corpus instincts suggesting otherwise, he did do the correct thing there. Maybe, it's hard to say. Some people will argue that that was a tack on to the Civil War, and I think there's some truth to that, but there is also no reason why he would have or wouldn't have in that situation. So I may be spitballing a bit too much on exactly one situation, but it's the situation that he's remembered for, so it gets extra weight. We'll say his philosophical merit based on that, and federalism is an A. I don't overly agree with his sort of zealous anti-fractiousness that he had. If it weren't slavery as such a pivotal issue that would cause the U.S. to fracture, I actually do think peaceful divorce is a good idea, but obviously that wasn't just his fault. There were a lot of malefic actors on both sides. And obviously, if you're going to choose Malefic Actor 1 or Malefic Actor 2, and Malefic Actor 2 is a slaver, then you shoot the slaver. Rational merit. Abe Lincoln. I do like the fact that he chops down trees. Very nice lumberjacking. He kills horses when they ain't good. Fantastic rational merit. Let's actually see some specific dates on this sort of stuff, because I get the entire Civil War history, but I wonder, there's got to be some hilarious factoids for as researched a person as Abe Lincoln was. I'm going to consult my good friend Wikipedia and see if I can't pick out some things that I might be forgetting.
Okay.
Early education, self-educated from itinerant teacher. Yeah. It's Kentucky. Chores. Okay, well, yeah, he is a farmer. That's true. And I think he was a boxer or a wrestler, one of them.
His house looks like a Valheim base.
Active wrestler during his youth. Fucking New Salem moment. Okay. Showed lack of any specific recollection. Typhoid. He's a militia guy. Good. I wonder how long he actually served. Okay, here we go. Illinois State Legislature. 34 to 42. Whigs. Fine. Support for the American Colonization Society. Great. Admitted to the Illinois House of Representatives. There we go. Foreign and military policy. Lincoln spoke against the Mexican-American War good, which he imputed to President James K. Polk's desire for military glory, that attractive rainbow that rises in showers of blood. Yeah, kinda. He supports the Wilmot Proviso, a failed proposal to ban slavery in the U.S. territory. Yeah. Polk. Polk was kind of a turd, so...
Oh my god, Mary Polk. Henry Polk.
In his eulogy for Clay, Lincoln highlighted his latter support for gradual emancipation, both extremes on the slavery issue. Slavery. Don't care. No, he was against slavery. Here we go. Dred Scott versus Sanford.
He was against slavery.
That's more fucking slavery. Debate, Cooper Union speech. Give me Civil War stuff. Here we go.
You mean the Silver War from Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter?
Yeah. Historian Alan Nevins argued the newly inaugurated Lincoln made 3 miscalculations, underestimating the gravity of the crisis, exaggerating the length of Unionist settlement in the South, that's true, and overlooking the Southern Unionist opposition to an invasion. Sovereign nation doesn't like being invaded. Shock of shocks. Will Sherman, sadly disappointed in his failure to be a sleeping volcano. Efforts to avoid collision. Yeah, so if you're going to hit him with anything, it's that he wasn't sanguine enough on certain of the instances of preparation against the South. That's kind of paradoxical, because the dude was like a not harm the fly type of person by a lot of accounts. Rational merit. This is a pretty damn stellar certification in terms of his history in state legislature and then actual legislature. As president, they're ragging on him a lot here for not being like kind of a Kissingerite, if you will, before Kissinger was a thing, not being very real about his politic. He's very, how shall we say, not demagogic, but he was a faith ruler in a lot of senses. We'll say his rational merit, because he made a lot of difficult decisions. His rational merit ordinarily would be a keck, but I have some philosophical qualms with his rationale, shall we say. That's also why his philosophical merit takes a small hit. Although I am tempted to bring his philosophical merit up to an S in light of certain things. Yeah, we will. His meme potential is pretty good. Abe Lincoln is constantly referenced, and most recently, I think hilariously, a lot of Democrats don't actually know that he was a Republican.
Yep.
Even though the party's technically flip-flopped twice since then on like everything. But anytime you hear someone using a partisan label as a baton, particularly the baton of racism against Republicans, this guy's an easy talking point against it, and it causes absolute mayhem, regardless of whether or not it's an actually good point. Okay, so you can make the case for a flip-flop in Reconstruction era because a lot of Republican instances moved south, young people moving south for sort of industrial development, and they were all basically anti-tax in a lot of cases. This is actually here. I wrote a fucking big ass paper on this. I actually first got the idea to start looking into it. I won't actually read out this entire paper. But 1, Reconstruction era. 2 was just before here. Let me look up exactly what year it was. It's post civil rights movement. So what's the term? When the Republicans started employing the quote unquote Southern strategy, right? So 1970-ish. The reason that I was turned on to that as another potential flip-flop was that the Senate seats in a lot of southern states had just turned red when that had started being done. And then, as I understand it, there was a usage of that southern strategy. Sorry, the southern strategy was employed. The blue senators in the South did not turn red. There was a passive population drift that came down south for similar reasons that I said during Reconstruction. And that ended up red washing most of the South that we understand as ruby red terrain today. So all of the Gulf states, Florida now becoming solidly red, was not always the case. Yeah. Mostly the Gulf states were who shifted the most there. So Reconstruction and then like 70s. Personal approval of Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln, in my opinion, while a little clueless on certain matters, was an understandable cluelessness on those matters. And it relates to his personal philosophy, which, while I don't mirror, I approve of quite heavily, actually. His impact on the world was drastic, but it sucks to see people basically misunderstanding it today. That's not going to knock his personal approval, but it definitely will increase my personal sympathies for your ghost, Mr. Lincoln. I'm going to give his personal approval an S. And then I'm going to cast him against some other fairly high-ranking people.
Ben Shapiro.
Well, yeah, I did mention him, but if I find him on here as I'm scrolling up, who's another relatively high-ranked
Camila.
A lot of the people we do on here are just straight-up hit
Your
pieces.
box. It's pretty high-rated.
Relevance, personal approval. I may well bring my personal approval or my rational merit up. Because I don't know that the one thing I'm really hitting him on with rational merit really could have been solved. Like, he may have taken an extraordinary action and prevented that level of war, and he was clearly concerned with it. That's a difficult test that a lot of people on here that have Keks in personal approval or S's in personal approval have never had to face. So, a little bit of circumstance bias there, but I'm willing to eat it. Okay, what do we think? Okay, go ahead. When you say fracture, just so we're talking in the same terms, what do you think of? I actually do. Yes. The reason that I don't like that is because the entire reason why we have our two-house system as it is, Senate and House of Reps, is to try and prevent, or at least the reason that the Senate is homogenized in the amount of seats that you get, support a fracture. The entire reason that that happens is so that we don't have a ton of larger states hyper-influencing smaller states. And that was the intended design of the Senate. Now, because of how much the U.S. has stuck to this derpy two-party system, it's basically become majoritarian rule at this point. And not only is it a majoritarian rule if people wanted it to be, there is want for that to be the case. You see actively legislatures from one party, not the other, cramming down rules as opposed to stripping away rules on the federal level. And a lot of smaller states are getting caught in massive economic headwinds by this. So I can give an example. Up here in Pennsylvania, we are one of the ones who was most strongly affected, not only by the president, but by the fact that we had a Democrat-dominated legislature during that time. It has absolutely riven some of our industries up here. Everyone keeps saying that Joe Biden's not cracking down on energy. Joe Biden's not cracking down. It's really sub-agencies under him and regulators that are of Democratic lean that he's passing bills of. So Joe Biden is synonymous with Democrats writ large here right now. It has been kind of catastrophic in terms of the energy industry here. And it's not just us. The Gulf states are suffering for obvious reasons. NYMEX is stationed predominantly in Georgia with offices in Louisiana, so they'll suffer for that. Yeah, I don't like the interdependency between a couple of states. People will rag on states like Texas, well, state like Texas, because it has its own centralized grid. I don't actually think that's a bad thing, because right now, a lot of other states are having to trade energy between themselves or trade energy out of themselves to ground it because they can't use it. So California right now, for instance, is actually an energy liability in two ways to its adjacent states because of California's shitty policy and because of its shitty infrastructure. So it both has to sell energy, is forced to sell energy at a negative price so that it doesn't overload its own grid to ground it out in other states. It's actually a lot due to the reliance on solar. But they also don't actually have enough storable energy in like pumped hydro or battery stations to use their own resource in solar that they've invested so heavily in. So they're forced to buy energy as well as selling energy at a negative price. Now, would a fracture prevent that from happening? Maybe not, but it would sure as hell localize the problem. California would be forced to eat its own inefficiencies. I don't think that it should be able to export a lot of its... Well, for one thing, to be fair, it is an exchange of money as well there. I don't mind states having trade, shall we say, and stuff like the interstate highways is great for all that and whatnot. That's a benefit to the civilian populace. But suffice to say, if you were to split the country down the middle right now, well, maybe not down the middle. Let's say you carve the Democratic West and the Republican Southeast off into their own little things and ignore everywhere else. And even ignore like natural resource dispositions, which I would think actually kind of favors the West. One of those two would fare better. And all of the citizens of that would be likely to fare better as a result. So if you extrapolate that math out, I don't know what the borders would be in an actual fracture. I don't know if we would keep trade open with the other counterpart in a fracture. Do I support a hot civil war on either end? No. But do I feel any kinship with the average Californian? No. The nation's become too bloated for that to become a factor anymore. We used to be a unity-spec Stellaris civilization. And it really just hasn't aged well in my books. So, I like the idea that it is a priority that an America, shall we say, even if it's not the complete America, remains on top. I like that. I like that very much. It ensures peace through stuff like NATO. And yeah, you're right. Our enemies are potent, but you have to understand, in almost every single respect, except through sheer luck of location in China's instance, I bet half of America could still crush most outlying forces. You're not wrong, again, but unless unless one of those Americas was the decisive winner. Unless you think one of them would instantaneously and forcefully eat the other. My concern would be, and one half of those Americas, through either sheer desperation or ideological alignment, actually becoming part of that pseudo-axis of evil, if you will. Which, if that's the case, if our populace actually is capable of doing that sort of thing, if our politicians are capable of doing that sort of thing, it's unavoidable, and better to cut it out early. Even I still have faith that if a small nation like, well, put it this way.
Zimbabwe,
no. The example I was going to use would have been Switzerland, which is able to basically conceal its head under its own borders and let the world die out around it. If one of the Americas were like that, and the other America were very reminiscent of the America we see today, that would be the optimal outcome. So if I thought there would be, if I were in Abe Lincoln's shoes, for instance, if I thought there would be a hot war, then I would have moderated, as you say, war. But I don't know. I don't think that would be the case if it were to happen today. I think both Americas would probably acknowledge what you say is true. And while it might fracture the number 1 slot, I think it would still produce the number 1 and 2 slot, and they'd still be aligned against most of these people. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Agree.
Civil War. Oh.
That's a hell of a claim, and ideologically, from populist member to populist member, I think it's probably true. Is the hilarious part about that. So it seems like a super contentious claim on the surface.
I get
but
what
if
you
you
mean,
think
yes.
deeper, that may actually be the case, because people were
Already,
so
yeah.
insular then. Yeah, people were so insular that they all probably inadvertently believed the same things, even if those things were incorrect. I agree. Right. Yeah. Like, I understand your concern. It's a fun discussion for sure. I'm still gonna take my bet on the twin new Americas versus the rest of the world, but you bring some interesting points there. Do you have any comments, Sard, before I deliver the final rating on good old
Let's see. So
honest
a
Abe?
lot of people decide to treat Abe Lincoln in a similar manner to Martin Luther King Jr., which is not true at
Which is
all.
a fucking joke.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, that's a
labeled.
sick joke.
He was labeled both as an anti-racist and a white supremacist by
Yeah.
different organizations just because of his ideology. Hold on, BRB.
You know, if you're being hated by everyone for different reasons, then you can say everyone else is stupid. Hey.
Just go on, Art. I'll be okay.
Alright. Sarfnik bad.
It's Coot. I'm sorry.
Abe Incan, as Trump said. Honest Abe Incan gets an S plus. Yeah, it's probably true. I guess relevance is a little lower, so it, like, decreases magnitude. Honest Abe Incan. I knew him. Literally. Yep. What? Maybe. We'll see what Sard picks. Although you had a game in your reserves as well. I would like to get one game. Okay, great. Yeah, do Vermintide for sure. Rat Squadron. And then Sarf's obviously going to bring up Windcraft and Arcane as his last two. Oh, okay. We'll see which one he brings up, because he could also bring up half a dozen other fucking things. Like, he could bring up...
Yeah, I have myself muted on the stream intentionally, sir.
That is deliberate, Toadstool. That is deliberate.
So I don't know if I was doing it earlier, which would have been an issue. Let's see here. What I can do...
Yeah, I can hear you on the stream just fine.
Yeah, I can... Troll. Troll, why don't you just use chat on the YouTube?
DM.
Yeah, he's DMing me. Yeah, I know, Troll. Also, Troll, what's the delay? No, I had myself muted for a little bit intentionally, but I'm worried about before that. For reference, Troll, I just sent you that now. Okay, so it's not that bad then. Gonna hear our feedback loop here for a second.
I like that. I like that. I like the. So.
Where did Sarpnik say he was going?
I don't fucking know. He said something about Coop.
No surprise.
Hello?
Speak of the devil. Okay.
Sir.
I'm back.
Sorry, you're
Sorry,
gonna do. So how we're
And
gonna do
other
this?
family members came in.
Cringe.
Did you do your mic or some shit work?
Yeah, I
No.
did. I checked this. So during the latter end of the Abe Lincoln conversation, it seems to have actually muted on itself as well. I'm wondering.
Oh.
So I have the two mic hotkeys, right?
Okay, I don't have hotkeys for them.
So I have
but yeah.
two of them. I have one that I have for Solaris, but I also added it to Streamlabs. What I think happened is Streamlabs got reverted. If it didn't save or something after the last stream.
Sard, pick a fucking topic.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
don't
you haven't
do
watched.
Arcane or Windcraft yet.
So neither of you haven't watched Warcraft. Spoiler. Neither of you watched Puss in Boots yet, right?
I've
Like,
seen
right.
Push and Boots 1, but not the last wish.
Do Last Wish better version. Let's do Sleepy Server, shall we?
Should we bring Troll in for this?
has
Should we
been
bring
set-
Troll in for this?
No, it's the outside influence. Unless you really care, but
No. We need a first-hand testimonial here.
Well, 1 second. Let's bring Troll in. Let me go call Troll.
Ladies and gentlemen, now incoming.
Oh,
Savant
damn it, he's AFK.
Troll
He
Stool.
is AFK. We can give it a little bit.
Do something else first, then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll do that if you do something else.
Okay. I think of. Yeah. I was thinking of a really fun.
Here, I'll message him.
I had one idea in mind, but I don't want Warcry stream taken down.
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
You want to message me the idea?
Yes. Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing it, but it would only really
Fine.
get me demonetized. It wouldn't actually
Let's do another one then. Let's do the LGBTQIA plus community.
Why do you choose all the dumbest ones?
I don't know. I just feel like it.
Give me something interesting.
Okay.
Are you asking me to rate people that are of that, or?
Just do
Because
the
if
whole
that's
thing.
gonna say that's the case, I'm gonna say that's a category
Fine.
error.
I'm changing
There is
it.
no such thing as an
I'm changing it. I have a
LGBTQIA
better idea.
community.
I have a better idea then. So, Someone who's been in Hearth, someone recently. Let's do Ray Binks.
Ray
No,
Binks. This
God.
isn't getting any better.
No, Zenith, no. I don't want to be
Really
part of that
not.
group. Trust me.
Alright,
He
Ray Binks.
Wait. Whoa. Right before you said Ray Binks, Sard's obsessed with things he wants to be in.
No, I don't want to be a mentally ill, suicidal
Sard,
person.
I don't think you understood what that means.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Zenith, critical burn.
No, I was just
Oh
looking
my
through
God.
the concepts to think about, and then I saw
Fucking
Hearth SMP. I'm like,
destroyed.
let's do some Hearth SMP members. Let's see. And I was like, oh yeah, let's do Ray Binks.
Oh my god. Are we doing this?
Ray Binks, get the image.
Oh shit, I'll get an image. Wait. Okay, let's see. I'll
Don't
pick one of the
censor
1,000
this.
selfies she sends me every day.
There. No surprise.
Relevance
here.
literal god is gonna be a B Discord member, apprentice, contact. Yeah. Yep. Sith apprentice. Pretty good. Ray Binks philosophical merit.
Thank
You know, sometimes you just look at someone and you wonder how on earth they were just like, how on earth they came unto being. How, in the great sea of entropy that is our world, did someone with so little brain power actually adopt an amazing personal ethic?
No. Okay.
No.
Executive
Ray
action,
Binks
deleting
is
this
a
slide.
sleeper. Ray Binks is in
No.
fact a sleeper
No.
philosopher.
We're done. We're done. We are done. Stream is over. Series over. Too much. Please. Fix it.
Bring it back, Warcries.
Fix it.
So, Ray Binks actually has an extremely well fleshed out philosophy.
Ow.
So she took the Corpus School of Accounting and warped it into its natural conclusion at my guiding hand, which is of course the Sith code. Every time that I am in a chat with Ray Binks, I ask her to recite the Sith code to me, and she does so without fail. She was a lost, promiscuous little youth of a gal when I met her on Sponge SMP, I think it was. And then in her subsequent interactions with me on Harth, basically she was transformed into the optimal Sith apprentice for modern day America.
No. No.
Peace is a lie. You said it yourself, Ray. You only needed a push. Her rational merit... Actually, wait. No, that was philosophical merit. Sorry. Her philosophical merit's only a B.
Too high.
All the rest
Wait,
of her
what is
things
this?
is crazy.
S and rational merit? Are we hearing this correctly?
Rational merit of Ray Binks is surprisingly high, despite her inability to grasp the physical concepts such as Schrodinger's cat. She does, in fact, know a good amount of accounting. So great. She is able to sustain exceptionally large amounts of random boys, chew them up and spit them out like a proper Sith hedonist should. And in this
Not
case,
a good thing, man.
she is the optimal Gen Alpha female. I guess she's Gen Z
What?
still, right?
What?
Like when's the Gen Alpha cutoff? It's way younger than she is, right? Gen Alpha. Early 2010s. Where the fuck? To be born between 2010 and 2015. How old is she?
16.
Yeah. So she's damn. Ah well, could have fooled me. She acts like an elfin. Anyway, her rational merit is impressively high for, again, what you would think on the surface. Unfortunately, she is a terrible Minecraft player.
Oh yeah, the worst.
I don't know. That's a pretty big hit. The Schrodinger's cat thing is a real stumbling block for her, too. Nope. Nope. Her cat is still alive and she just doesn't know it. On a serious note, I'm not quite sure to think about the specimen that is Ray Ray. She's an aberration, even as like modern gals go. I'm actually going to
Award.
give her rational merit a B. The meme potential is an easy S.
Should have gone with Adolf Hitler war cries.
And my personal approval knows no bounds for Miss Ray Ray Binks. Ray Ray Binks gets a cack in terms of personal approval. Also, she acts as a fantastic foil to Sarfnik, which is a substantial part of this.
A what? Quell?
I'm so dumb.
A foil.
Foil.
Have you
No.
ever seen such a darling specimen as the image to your right?
Where was the S meant to go before?
Shirley Temple, Marilyn Monroe,
No, you
Ray Ray Binks.
did not just say that.
Oh no. Her personal approval in all seriousness is probably something like, well, with that hair color, she's definitely a Slaneshi, right?
No.
And we already knew that from her antics with the male permute. So, honestly, I don't know. I feel like she's one of those things where you look at it, it's a train wreck happening in slow motion, and you're just Jetstream Sam over here clapping as the explosions go on and on. Probably in poor taste, since
That's-
Ohio and whatnot. But
Apt. That's a really apt description. I just wish the rest of the ratings reflected that description.
This is not logical
personal
war cries.
approval is a 2 out of 1. Now, I guess I'm gonna give her a B. Like sheer entertainment value.
I kind of see that.
Let's see.
but
What's
I
my
don't
what's
see-
my personal approval of Sarfnik?
Okay, just quick interjection. What was the S originally meant to be? That you gave
Meme
her?
potential.
The one you gave her on philosophical merit?
Yeah, it's meant to be meme potential.
Okay. I thought you were about to give her an S on rational merit earlier. And I was I was actually going to scream because
Yeah, I remember that.
I have
was
an
like,
S
what?
on the rational merit.
No, the only philosophical merit thing she has going for her is that she is an accolade of the Sith Code and that she is
Q's, Aramis.
a
Like,
Slaneshi. Yes, that's the point.
See?
Social cues are wrong.
Okay, let's see here. Are we done? We good?
Yeah.
Can I talk? Okay, C is fine. I'd even be fine with that being like a B minus. But rational
Yeah.
merit should be to the floor.
Really?
Yes. She is
Do
so
tell.
unimaginably dumb. I hate it so much.
Very inconsistent with
I
views,
usually
too.
can bear
Yes.
dumb people.
Can you balance my financial
I
statements, Warframe?
usually can just ignore dumb people.
She's an
I
accountant.
cannot. Okay,
That means she must be successful.
accounting is literally 0 effort. I've taken 8 accounting classes, harder than the ones she took. They are 0 effort.
Yeah, but she's trying.
You know what? Okay, she's a Sam hater. That kind of raises the rational merit a bit. right?
True.
Like-
D plus.
So is Newt, though.
Personal approval I understand because meme potential, but D plus rational there. I wouldn't be so low if she were actually bearable when she was being stupid. But whenever I hear her in the call, I actually want to scream.
Okay, one
Whenever
thing
I
I
hear
will
Sarpnik
give.
in a call, I can somewhat bear it.
Okay. So, ordinarily, this would be a philosophical merit thing, but I don't think she thinks about it like a philosophy question. I think she thinks about it as a status question. She is an attention whore. Like,
Yeah.
that's the big crux of Ray Ray. That's what increases her annoyance factor to unbearable for most people. Now,
I think that's how.
you can have your qualms with her IQ if you want to have your qualms with that. I think she's in a situation where she doesn't have to rely on it as much. She's in some Rocky Mountain town somewhere in the Midwest.
Actually,
Probably.
technically
I
not.
think.
No,
Did
it would be
Let me remember where
northwest
she's from.
or west, please.
Okay. Whatever. Bad location, but even so.
Hey, my cousin lives out there too.
Sard,
So
you have
mine
anything
would
else
be,
to
like,
say?
C.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, the attention thing is true. I think it was either me and Chase, or I think it was me and you, Aramis. We were able to get her to get pissed off within 30 seconds of just ignoring.
Schrodinger's cat.
Straight up.
Yeah.
It was quite funny. So pretty easy to play. Also very inconsistent with views. I mean, like, come on, I like
wait,
Sam. I
okay.
don't like Sam.
No. Is she
Sarpnik's
on
weird.
right now?
Sarpnik's not.
Is she on right now?
Is she what?
Is she on
Can't hear
right
the
now?
music.
No,
Let's
goddammit.
see.
I was going to get her in a call with us in a group chat, ask her to do Schrodinger's, or ask her to recite the code, and see if she could recite it.
Okay.
And that was all I wanted to do.
Well,
But no.
okay. Let's see if they're on by the end of this index. But if not, no.
Okay.
They also
I
called
give-
us on Discord
If
while
she
at
cannot
work.
recite
Remember?
the code, will you lower the rational or philosophical merit by 1?
Yes.
Okay.
So she, one more thing, I don't know. She like is willing to call us while at work on Discord, at Subway or whatever. Even Camo is just like, what the fuck?
Man, fuck Subway.
Ooh, Jimmy John's. Well, yeah. Anyways, I don't really have anything to add. I agree with Warcraft. They're okay. Like I don't hate them as much as War does, but I don't think
Why
I
are
like
you
them as
using
much as
gender neutral
War does.
pronouns?
I don't know.
Fucking
It's
SJW.
easier to say.
Fucking
It's easier to say. I'm
Kool-Aid guzzling bitch man.
I actually
Ray Ray
just
Binks
don't
gets
like.
a B minus.
Actually, alright, this makes. I just don't like saying the word her. It's just harder to say. Like, literally, over this cruise ship trip, I called someone a girl a him, and people were like, what the fuck? So I just.
Unironically, as someone who's constantly misgendered, I kind of agree. Okay, Ray Ray Binks gets a B minus. Next.
So, hold on a second. I was showing Coot when I was AFK earlier the ratings. Let's see. Let's compare this. Coot got a cringe.
Yeah.
Hearth members. Sarpnik got a B minus as well, so that says a lot about you. Okay.
In all honesty, I think that Coot is probably in my higher overall rating for me, if you ignore meme potential, than
Like
Ray.
maybe F plus to you. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Well, is this the?
Coot is neither an
index?
accountant nor can he
Here's the
recite the
thing.
Sith code, so.
I think Coot's actually somewhat intelligent, he's just super close-minded.
Ah! Okay. If you say so, buddy.
This variation of the Eisen index is Warcries versus Aramis. They find stuff they disagree on.
I hate you so much,
It's
Sarnik.
good
I
content.
cannot believe you suggested Ray Ray Binks. I'm so pissed about this.
Well done, my apprentice. Keep it up and you'll be a keck tier in no time.
Okay, here, let's think about this then. I think Coot's smarter than Ray, and I don't think your situation per se should have an effect
Coot
on your
definitely
rational
is.
merit. I think
Who is intelligent recently?
I don't understand why your specific
I'll
situation.
keep saying
should have an
that,
effect
but
on
somehow Ray speaks cleaner English than him, if that's the case.
Yeah, but that's kind of the close-minded.
Aramis. Maybe, maybe not. Coot, when he's in a call with you guys, he purposely speaks stupid. but
Suffice to say, how much of Coot's dialect is N-word and/or indescript curses? All of
Not-
that is replaced with like when it comes to Ray, as it would be with any
Honest to
teenage
God,
girl.
that is
That's
so much
perfectly
worse.
average.
I hate people who say like every second word.
It's hard not to, but yeah.
No, it isn't.
I agree.
I bet Ray could beat Coot in a duel.
I'd be interested in seeing what happens in that case, but You also said the same thing about Sam and Coot in CS:GO, and well,
Not
then
in
we got that
fucking
way.
CS:GO. That was a meme. I have no idea how either of them are in CS:GO. I've never seen Sam play. That was a meme, and you know
Who
it.
knows?
I honestly think Ray would pose a threat to Coot, probably because she has a weight advantage on him.
Probably.
I'm gonna be. Let's remember, Coot's been working out for like the past like 9 months.
Yeah, but he's still a stick.
For the past 9 months. One
He's
body
still an
kick.
actual
One.
stick.
Oh my
One.
god! We could organize this because I want to be near Ray's town in June. We could actually organize
We
this.
could
pretty hard.
organize.
Yes. We'll see how it works. Okay.
Okay.
Fly into.
Let's continue. Let's not waste too much time.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're already like an hour and a half in.
Fuck really.
Yes.
Oh,
Probably
fuck, are we?
We're an hour and 5 because Sarvnik wasted so much time.
So also, you guys did have the whole Abe Lincoln time
That was
conversation.
fine. At least it was
It was a
worthwhile.
cool conversation, unlike stuff about Coot.
Okay.
Okay.
So
We're doing CP server.
let's see here. No, it's done. So we can do. I think Vermintide is still probably the best choice here.
Vermintide 2.
Like, I was also thinking Gladiator might have been a good one.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could do Laurie.
I hate you so much. Shut up.
Vermintide 2 then. I have it installed, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, but Zenith, most of that, like half of that was just Theramis and I discussing while I was muted.
Yeah, Warcraft is just like arguing about some weird concepts. Oh,
Leaving and coming back when the Vermintide talk is done, since I got it for a day and decided it was boring as shit. Thank you, Zenith.
based. Well, I'm NE on this one, so.
Sarfnik giving an opinion on something that he's any on by saying based. Cringe. The core gameplay of Vermintide, despite what these two apes believe, is actually really fucking
didn't-
good.
Oh, okay. You mean
The
Zenith,
combat, yes, the combat in Vermintide 2 actually flows rather smoothly. It's great. I like the blocking system. All of the in-mission stuff is pretty damn good. The story is great, but obviously the selling point of the core gameplay, in my opinion, is the chaos wastes. People will hate on weaves. I don't think weaves are that bad, personally. I don't see why they got the negative reviews. Maybe it was something to do with a refinement question of the time or the grindiness question that comes with weaves. But I think all around, all of the modes that I have tried in Vermintide 2, which are all the available ones, at most difficulties, is perfectly fine. So, I'm going to give core gameplay an S. I like the progress systems. I like the class systems. I like they have an achievement system, which is very detailed. I can't poke holes. Their sustainability question is another one. It's not as sustainable as a true sandbox. It's nowhere near as sustainable as a true MMO. But as a team-based co-op PvE Horde Slayer game goes, this is the most sustainable I have seen. Which still only puts it as an S, in my opinion. I think you can get more sustainable hours out of a game that like Vermintide 2 than you can a lot of survival sandbox games that don't really have sustainability as a priority. Even games like Subnautica, I would actually probably favor Vermintide in terms of sustainability. The story of Vermintide is actually kind of loose. All of the missions are kind of anthological, but there are crystalline acts wherein they're thematic pieces, and the actual lore of Vermintide is amazing because it's going through the best phase in Warhammer history, which is obviously End Times. And getting you really in depth with all the characters. All the characters have tremendous personality. I'm going to give the story either an A or an S. I'm going to say S because of Warhammer lore in general. Because they build so much on it and it's such an interconnected world. The visuals. Vermintide 2, correct me if I'm wrong, came out in... Actually, when did Vermintide 2 come out? Vermintide 2 came out in 2015. No, Vermintide 2 was released Windows March 18th, 2018. There we go. 2015 was the original. That was End Times, which is Vermintide 1. So 2018, its visuals are quite good. Its physics are also pretty good. For a 2018 title, though, I think the visuals are still pretty good. What do you think?
I think it's like A. I don't think it's worthy of an S in terms of visuals.
Yeah, I agree. The score sound design is absolutely phenomenal. Every single weapon has a unique and memorable sound once you get used to using it enough. Obviously, you have items like the Dwarf Yell, which I incorporate to this day in my weak auras in World of Warcraft because it's so fucking good when you have a Slayer in your party. It's very immersive, and you see themselves just catapult into a fucking patrol, yelling, "Grimnir!" and then just swinging their axe everywhere. Score sound design gets an S. The actual score itself is edgy and very vermin-y, so very good. The refinement and development of Vermintide has hit some bumps. It's one of those games where a lot of the actual infrastructure within the game is amazing, but the development cycle is slow, not terribly substantial. The only major thing I would say that would have been a massive boon in this regard was the entire Chaos Waste update, which was 1, free, and 2, extremely well integrated. We're going to put the refinement and development at a C because of the reception at Winds of Magic, the updates, because the game actually started out quite broken, and a massive tick in its favor because of everything Realms of Chaos related. The community of Vermintide, they're one of those that isn't like, not that caustic, shall we say, in game. But when you're joining lobbies and whatnot at the higher difficulties, it's much reminiscent of the Mythic Plus community in WoW. Except they don't have the option to exclude you randomly. They have to selectively exclude you. I'm going to say also the meme community and the creative community around Vermintide, particularly because it's a game that enables modding, is incredible. All of the creative stuff regarding like Pussfume and the meme videos from all these different creators is absolutely hilarious, and you can tell that Vermintide 2 is a game that really made a lot of people rapt with attention. I'm actually going to give the community an A. Okay, also Fred Boat is kill. Alright, Warcries did Vermintide 2, Sarfnik is not experienced.
Yeah.
Warcries, what do you have to say?
Okay, let me just set up Fredboat real quick. Alright, so I will start this by saying I've got, I believe, a 5th inactive playtime of what you have, so I'm significantly less experienced with this than you.
Okay.
So let's go through here. I don't disagree with you on anything in particular. I haven't actually done anything with Winds of Magic, as I think you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've mentioned this before, but the whole Chaos Waste system is almost an exact replica of Hades in sort of a 3D style with different combat mechanics. Yep. Mind you, it came out before Hades, and I don't really think Hades drew inspiration with it. It's a fairly common sort of
right, like you see
thing.
Similarities between that and Torghast, for instance.
Yeah, but I find that it's like extremely similar, and I really like Hades setup. So I really enjoy Chaos Waste. I honestly don't find the main missions nearly as intriguing as you do. Like if the game were just main missions, I don't think I'd actually rate it that well.
Yeah.
But with Chaos Waste, which I think really is the main attraction at this point, I think the devs know that. I'd agree on pretty much everything here. Let's see.
you think that brings it to S or S minus then?
I'd say. Let's see here. What other games have we rated? Recently. I haven't played
Good
TF2.
call.
Warhammer
Let's say
is
TF2 comes in at an
S+.
A. Warhammer S plus.
Undertale B
What
minus.
else?
Minecraft A minus. I'd say I'd lean
Terraria
towards
A.
S minus.
Yep. There we go. Vermintide 2, aka Rat Squadron, gets an S minus.
Okay.
Third. Pick your third and final topic.
Okay, I think this is pretty predictable. Let's go with it.
Which one are you doing, Windcraft or Arcane?
The one that I was more engaged with, let's say.
Arcane?
Windcraft.
Oh, okay.
I'm choosing Windcraft for my next.
Okay, this is how I want it to be in
Windcraft.
chronological order. Sarfnick's gonna get disappointed here by the rating.
I'll see. I might have to argue in its favor a bit, but we'll see.
Okay. Windcraft. The Minecraft MMO, as it were. And then Hytale.
Which of Hytale
So-
is very, very, very slow development.
Yes. Windcraft was a bit of an enigma. So, to preface this, for those of you who have been living under rock and don't know what Windcraft is, it is a Minecraft server that is a total transmutation of the base game, much like Hypixel is, except that it is in the fashion of an MMO as opposed to a minigames arcade-style setup. Basically, it in its initial form was a complete rip from your stereotypical MMO. You had your classes, it was a high fantasy setting, you had your abilities, and you went around with people and you killed shit. That's more or less what it was at the start. In recent times, Sarfnick has convinced me to do a more complete playthrough of Windcraft, wherein it wasn't just grinding out mobs to get to a higher level, and actually featured more high-level quests, featured actual raid dynamics, if you can call a 4-player instance a raid, and actually a comprehensive, or so I thought, guild system that allowed for territory claim. Windcraft itself is expansive, probably more expansive than any other Minecraft server I've seen except for Hypixel in terms of sheer content. And I'm going to be very, very critical because I was a kid who was born and raised on MMOs. Sarfnick thinks that Windcraft is the bee's knees. I traded Sarfnick in exchange for him watching Arcane that I would go and basically level a character to max or near max level, go through all of the main story quests that were relevant to me throughout that, and try and do semi or end game level content.
103, right?
I am, I believe, 102. I could be mistaken. Okay, so Windcraft's core gameplay is fairly enjoyable. The core aspects of an MMO are all there. All of the gear optimization, the currency farming, the skills, the appearances, which we'll get to, visuals, are all fine. The class fantasies are a bit generic. But other than that, I'm going to give the core gameplay an A. I actually found Windcraft's baseline framework to be, with some notable exceptions like the click to cast sequences, I found this to be a fairly clean system. The sustainability of Windcraft, as an MMO should be, is actually fairly high, except when you get to max level, and then you realize that they basically have a Mythic Plus system. It was a direct rip of Mythic Plus, actually. We now have confirmation of this. Wherein you go and do old dungeons at a slightly higher level. You're level capped at 105 currently, although I'm told that's going to be expanding once they bring out Fruma.
106, truly, but yeah.
Next update, yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't see the sustainability of this game being even close to, say, an old school WoW variation
Completely agree.
with
I
only
think
2 dungeon
sustainability
difficulties.
is one of its worst.
I'm going to give the sustainability of this a C only because of seasonality. And even then, that system itself has bad flaws, so anyone who is sustaining off of that is enduring bad content. The story of Windcraft used to be a little bit of a hodgepodge. You had 5 major cities back in the day, 6 if you count Selkar, I guess, and there was nothing else. You had Ragni, Detless, Nisek, Nemract, and Almuj, and those were the only fucking zones. Then they opened up Troms, and then they opened up a bunch of other shit. Now they have an entirely new zone, which has, for my money, more content than the fucking mainland ever did. The entirety of Gavel, which Windcraft has kind of become synonymous with the province of Wynn. In reality, all the good content is in Gavel. The story throughout Wynn is incredibly boring and is terribly linked through quests. Some of the quests one-off are fine and are good design, but Gavel is where the actual content of the game is, frankly. The story throughout Gavel, I think, while we have our dislikes for people like fucking what's-her-face there, Larry, and a couple other rather annoying characters.
Larry.
Everything with Gavel, and especially with Corcus too, because they're basically one and the same at this point. Corcus is a later level island zone. All of that stuff is great. Does it hold a candle to anything competently written, or even anything that my cousin and I created in our D&D universes? No. But considering it's just a story that's tacked onto an MMO, as opposed to what we can say is like original Warcraft through Wrath of the Lich King, which is a MMO that's tacked onto a story, the reverse. I think the story is okay-ish. The lack of player background is something that I really hate about the game and takes the R out of RPG.
Albeit that will be revealed soon.
Sorry, I'm gonna say this. He messaged me, he was gaslighting you, but honestly, I think at the beginning he just didn't realize how far the game went.
Okay. So, the visuals. It's Minecraft.
Really good looking Minecraft, though, I will say.
The builds, we'll start with the builds. The builds start off kind of generic and then go absolutely bonkers. Some of the builds in this place, especially the one that really gets me, was the entire back half of why don't I remember the main city's name in Gavel? What the fuck?
Corcus?
Yeah, not Corcus.
Oh, not Corcus.
No,
Not Corcus, fuck.
fucking
Sinfres.
Sinfres. Yeah. The entire back half of that city with the airport is actually a really good shadow build. Corcus, like you mentioned, is a absolute godsend. Not just the city, but the entire island is really well built. Selkar, for its time, was a good build.
Not anymore.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff. There's some really derpy style decisions in some cases. Like Realm of Light is a wacky ass build. And then you have Silent Expanse, which is a gorgeous
Wait, did
build.
you do Silent Expanse?
No, but I've watched you playing through it.
Okay.
Um,
Because that was probably, in my opinion, that's the best. Those are the best quests in the game, and
Yeah.
the best raid in the game and best dungeon, or the best
You've
dungeon.
done
I haven't done
Nameless?
the raid. Best dungeon. That's what I meant.
so the spell effects are pretty okay. Meteor is very generic. Ice Snake. All the assassin ones are retarded. I used to actually play a
They
rogue, I
reworked
guess it is.
Assassin literally like 2 weeks ago or something, or I think it was more like a
Okay.
month ago now. So it was midway through you playing.
You have fucking totem thrower boy over here, and that's all that's cool about, or all that's special about his class's animation. You have
Damn.
warrior, which is warrior, and then you have fucking wacky shit like orphan him.
I love it.
Like
I love it.
I don't. The visuals are passable but uninspired. The builds are where this place really shines. I guess I'll give it a C. It's still Minecraft after all. Score sound design. I did for my latter part of the playthrough once Warcraft instructed me on how to actually do this. Go around and listen to quite a few things while I was profession farming for ages. Again, it's Minecraft music. It's good Minecraft music, but like really good Minecraft music. But yeah, I didn't find anything of it particularly thought-wormy, earwormy. You know what? I'm gonna take that back because we're including sound design here. The spell sounds are pretty good, and they flow well, and all the ambiences are done correctly. Again, you're working with mostly a generic Minecraft setup here for like mobs and everything. Yeah, I guess. What would you guys think about score sound design?
I think so. You didn't really hear Solid Expanse. I think Solid Expanse is the best music. Somewhat Void Elf-esque.
Okay.
But I think
Obviously.
it would be a C normally. B with that. I don't think it's incredible, but I think it's really good for what it had to build on.
Yeah. We'll say the creativity keeps it at a solid C. Refinement and development. Okay. This game is riddled with bugs, always has been. It's an MMO. Whatever. The pace at which they actually developed it was incredibly slow. While it seems like content updates nowadays are a bit more regular, it took them... When did you say my first join was, Surf?
It was like June 2013.
A decade? Really?
Yes.
Yeah, a decade.
Yeah, and every major quest that I've done has had at least one bug. It may not have been a bug that prevented me from finishing the quest, but it was a bug that either cost me time, or was a visual bug, or was an itemization bug. Not a good look. And also, it took them a fucking decade to do it, and they haven't added but one new class since then. I'm giving refinement development a D, possibly lower. The community is mostly just fucking 13-year-olds by the seemings, and then you probably have some sweat lords in the bigger guilds. I find this community intolerable, honestly.
I'm agreed.
99 Lulu.
I'm gonna give the community an F. Okay. Talk.
Alright, so let's see here. I think core gameplay is fine as is. I'll bring up raids, or not raids at the end, but guilds at the end. Sustainability, I think, should be lower, to be honest. I think as literally the moment you hit endgame, I think you would have kind of felt this as well. The moment I realized the guild system was shit, there was zero keeping me in. I had zero care for professions, there was zero reason, there's zero endgame content other than getting mythics, which I don't see why anyone would care enough about to do. To actually keep you going. There is absolutely nothing in the end game. Like you can do raids to generate money, but then
words cannot describe how soul crushed I was when I discovered the actual extent of the guild system.
Yeah,
because it looked like it was all there. Complete paper tiger.
So story I think is fine as is. Visuals, I personally do enjoy the Minecraft style, and especially this style of it. I would personally give it a B, but I think there is some personal preference to that. Once again, I think I already mentioned score sound design, so I won't go over that again. Visuals, I think it's kind of same argument for score sound design here. With what they had to work with, I think they did really well. I think all of the classes look pretty much as good as they reasonably really can, with keeping with the art direction, with the exception of Shaman. Shaman best class, by the way. Let's see. Refinement development, I think, should honestly be balked even more. Sarfnik, you know I hate this. How much I hate the bugs.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of them.
Literally, Sarfnik watched this happen, and he kept saying, "Oh, it's only a thing with you," but it happened with you too, and it is absolutely not only a thing with
It
me.
happened with me. I don't know why.
So I did not have. I was on the same boat with not having a single quest without bugs, but I had multiple times in which bugs were completely game breaking, and I had to go consult the actual Discord about it.
Yeah.
Like, that is not
All right.
good.
I'm tempted to dock refinement and development and maybe bring up visuals a hair. But Sarfnik, go ahead.
Or go silent,
So-
that also works.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I was just deafened first. Half a second. Alright. Let's see. I think the story is a bit better than your
Finish your fucking bite of whatever you're eating, goddamn.
It's a granola bar, sorry.
Fine. Just try not to get crumbs everywhere and then talk.
Okay. Yep, I'd argue visual should be at least a B. Also, I do think the story should be a bit better. Warcraft is kind of like what I compare it to. It's a bit like Adventure Time. A lot of different stories. There's some grand arcs that are important in the end, but I kind of like the freedom. You can go on side quests. You can do whatever you want. There are issues,
So what you're
obviously.
saying is the core story is forgettable.
No, but like, is that really what life's about? It's an MMORPG. You're out
Yes.
to roam. There's no core story. And I guess the core story
if
is
you don't want a core story, then play, I don't know, a sandbox like Minecraft with no fucking story.
I guess the core story is obviously a Realm of Light, Realm of Darkness. That, and as well as I guess the Fruma origin story that's going to be coming out soon. But I still believe the story's better than the C. Personally, for me, I find it really enjoyable. Covering the lore of every location, Durnal Jungle, Sky Raiders. Okay, Prey.
Fair.
Subnautica. Okay, let me pull up Steam. Hold on a second. Alright. Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. Let's see.
5 Nights at
SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Poppy Playtime. There you go. Poppy Playtime. Prime example. Prime example. Okay. Let's see. Refinement. Yeah, the refinement's pretty shit. Community. I see your side. I don't have any objections to that. The score sound design I think is pretty good. I don't have any issues with it. I mean, but it's no plot.
Zenith yells, Warcry's mic muted.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh my god. At least we have Zenith now to remind you. Yeah, so
I'm gonna bring refinement and development down to an F.
you could down the refinement, but I'm fine with raising the score sound design. They've done
I'm
a good job with
debating
it.
whether or not I'm gonna keep everything else. Honestly, I'm gonna keep everything else as C. Like the visuals are close, but I still think it's in the realm of a C. Like it's not the talking point about Windcraft. Talking point about Windcraft, and the only good piece of it is the actual core gameplay of going around and swinging a stick at mobs and killing them and getting gear from it. Like that's Windcraft. The PvP used to be great, and then they removed it.
Yeah, I don't. That is so.
Hunted.
That on its
Hunted
own would bring. I forgot about that. As much as I think they've only added pretty good content, the removal of the Nether has pissed me off so much.
Yeah, that was so
Why?
sad, dude. That was the best part of the game.
And then they added
I was
hunted
going in
mode.
as a level 46 and I was beating the brakes off people because I'm a fucking guy coming from multi-glad WoW as a fucking 10-year-old.
Yeah, and they
A
added
I've seen your
13-year-old. but whatever.
KDR.
They
It's
have like
insanely
all
good.
of this setup stuff, but they have nothing that they're using all this setup on for PvP. They could have made some sort of actual arena, and it would have worked really well, and I think it would have been popular. They could, assuming they balanced armor a bit specifically for PvP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the future we can come back to this in like 2 years, and maybe there'll be some interesting.
Really? Because they haven't saved it in a decade.
Yeah, I am agreed.
Well, I mean, Tech Tree, right?
That was like
No.
without
Check
tech
you
tree,
out.
core gameplay, in my opinion, would be a B-. Currently, I
Yeah.
think
It's like
solid
Tech Tree was fine, but it wasn't a savior thing. It wasn't. Okay, so put it this way: Windcraft functioned better when the Nether was a thing and classes were homogenized, and you just had to basically choose what spenders to do. That was literally the simplest piece of it. But now you have shit like Orphanim, which just outright replaces an ability, and there's only 3 abilities to begin with per spec or per class.
Did you know how those work?
No, I'm
Aaron?
fine with
Every
the Tech
class
Tree
has
for the
like
most
a
part.
really good place.
Yeah.
I don't think tech tree is
And it's
bad.
one
I
of-
just don't think it was.
Yeah, like Tech Tree's not bad, but it's nowhere near a savior type thing. It's a necessary thing for a clean MMO. But Jesus, even this, I was looking through it the other day. The limiters that you have on number of actual viable builds, you have 2 viable builds as mage. I'm sorry. Like I've gone through and I've done the math because I do this constantly with Mythic Plus and stuff in WoW, where min-maxers and people on sub creation do way more fucking theory crafting than they do on a simple system as Windcraft. There's 2 viable builds. Like, my overall rating for Windcraft is like a D. We'll give it a D plus. Is it a terrible, unplayable game? No. Are MMOs that came out 3 decades ago better than it? Yes. The answer is yes. Play OSRS. Like... Okay. Final topic, I'm assuming it's going to be Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's been a long time coming.
Okay, so let's do this properly. Let's not try getting back at us for Windcraft on this.
No,
I want your actual rating. Because I want to hear this.
my actual rating.
Yeah.
Okay, where is this? Okay.
Arcane League of Legends. We're going to change this up, seeing as how there's been so much about this recently, particularly seeing as how it was the result of a trade that I just reviewed. Sarfnik, I'm actually going to let you take the floor on this one.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not as intelligent, but let's go. So, story Arcane is, I know nothing about League of Legends, never played it, I'm not Margaret Muffin, but coming into this universe was pretty good. I mean, they introduced Piltover, and it really didn't go beyond that. There was the black chick's mom who was from some other faraway, distant place. Obviously, that's setting up for a future season. I thought that the story was pretty alright. They had, what, 1 time skip, was it? Yeah, 3 acts, as Warcraft tries to...
And Bessa Medarda is a sexy
And-
beast. Don't just refer to her as some black chick's mom.
Jesus Christ, you're a MILF fan, aren't you? Anyway,
They call me Von Eisen the Gilf Slayer for a reason.
okay. Yeah, I thought overall it was interesting. It was kind of confusing, the origin of a lot of this, like the whole wizard that saved that one guy's mom from dying. No idea where those blue orbs even came from. I'll admit that's a bit of a it's like a plot gap almost. and then there's the whole issues. Actually, that's characters. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna give the story fresh A. The characters we have. Honestly, I've already forgotten some of the names. It's been a couple weeks. We have Jinx, aka Powder, probably one of my favorite ones. Had a big transition, went from innocent little girl to basically Suicide Squad. I don't remember the name. Okay, then we have your favorite fearless hero, Captain America type character. I already forgot his name too.
Ooh,
And then you've got
Jace?
I think he's I think he's referring to Jace.
Or does he mean Vander or Jace?
Jace.
I think he means
Vander's
Jace.
dead. Vander's like the butcher type character.
Oh, Vander is dead, is he? Someone didn't
spoil
watch
it.
the
Don't-
post-credits cutscene.
Okay, he wouldn't know that though. He wouldn't know that. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vander was awesome too. I actually think the characters are pretty good. I'll give them an S on this. I guess I'll go more into depth about them. All of them have different feelings. The deaths were pretty well used too. Whatever the fuck happened with Powder / Jinx was amazing with like their almost like hallucinations or something.
Oh yeah.
Like
that
a
was
voice
really
in their head. Oh, that was super good. The only character I have a minor issue is pink-haired girl. Just the way she was introduced in the second act was not how I would have gone.
Mr. Gay Pride of the Upper West Side.
She She was in prison for like 5 years or whatever, and her character was the exact same. I had an issue with that. Seemed like prison actually had like zero effect on her than I have bad food.
Well,
That's
strictly
literally it.
speaking, it turned her gay.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It
Damn,
dial up noises.
So
Sorry, but he
Good job.
doesn't notice.
okay, but either way, it's an S.
brushes
acting-
face, pins to wall. Nah, Vi's not gay. 100%.
Writing and acting, go with. So, I think it's pretty well done. I also said I did have an issue with some parts of this intro to this episode 4
What?
of the second act.
Okay, I want
Episode 4, I really don't like how they began off with Powder. And
Well, I don't even remember the intro to episode 4.
I wanted
What
more
was
build up with like the reveal
Sorry.
that Powder
it?
turned
What was
evil.
the start of episode 4? I don't remember.
The raid of the ship and like the festival thing.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
firelights attack it. Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah. But overall, that's not the only real issue with it. I've talked to the Warcraft about it previously. I'd give writing and acting an A. That's a solid A. Visuals, come on, it's the new style of animation. Puss in Boots did it, and they've done it in a couple other studios like Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. That's an S, really. Okay, direction. Aramis, can you describe direction a little more? I'm kind of confused.
Okay, so direction is the pacing of the plot lines and what scenes are selected to be actually displayed. Like if there are too many filler scenes, that's a dock on direction. If the plot line progresses too slowly in certain areas without justification, that's a knock on direction. If everything feels like it's paced very well, that's a well-directed film or.
All right. Oh, also, I just remembered I was going to say earlier. I was going to say that Powder is just like Harley Quinn. Okay. So direction is it's pretty well paced. I always love the time skips. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. I think that shows need to utilize this more. It creates more of a play feel almost, and less of just like your average. How do I explain this? I'm taking a creative writing course right now. We talk about how in media res and all that, and how you want to use time skips sometimes and skip useless details. I overall think direction's pretty good. Characters have good direction. Yeah. Score, sound design. I don't remember it too much, but I remember anytime I noticed the score, it was very positive. They did use some music though that was cringe, hip hop, modern. You know.
As in,
I'm sure
Oh, I hate fucking Imagine Dragons score sound design now.
Not that one, but
you
other
mean, like,
songs. That was
Echo's
like,
scene with the rap music, or what do you mean?
I don't remember the specific song names, but some songs that I considered cringe modern
Okay,
rap
just
songs.
continue.
What do you-
but
we'll do
other
this
than that, I don't
afterwards.
really
Continue,
care.
Keep going.
I guess they got the royalties for that.
True.
I'm gonna go with.
Weren't all
I'm
the
gonna go
songs
with an
literally
A.
made for the series?
And actually, B. It's not
Yeah.
memorable,
They
but
didn't need the.
No, I mean they used actual music that was
Sorry,
like.
every single song in that series was made specifically for the series, if I remember
Am I?
correctly.
No, there were a couple songs that are like hip hop songs that were
Yeah,
using.
and they were made for the series and then became hip hop
Yeah,
were?
songs.
so like, and
Oh.
even the non-hip hoppy ones, like they had a Sting song in there.
And sorry for like the Imagine Dragons song, the intro song, that was made for Arcane.
Yeah, the Imagine Dragon guys actually are huge League fans, so
In that case, I'm gonna keep it as a B. It wasn't extremely memorable, but it's still positive. So, yeah, I guess good on them for making songs that are quite enjoyable. Uniqueness. So, steampunky-esque. I don't think it's overly unique, but it's definitely different than if you compare it to like Windcraft's Corcus or common steampunk. Magic, yeah. I'll give it a default B. I don't know what else to say. And refinement. Well, we've only got one season. I don't really think there's much to know about refinement. Let's give it a C. Obviously they've got a good group working behind it. Good VAs. Yeah. C.
Alright, how are we doing this? Who's going first?
all right, let's go ahead and gut this.
Aaron, are we doing this together or are we doing this one at a time?
Actually, Warcries, I'm curious to see your modifications on Sarfnik's scores, so go ahead.
Okay, let's go through. Now, you want me to actually change them and do it a really weird way, or you want me to...
Go ahead and change them, and we'll see what points you will say for me. You're going to be sparing my voice here, most likely, on a lot of these. You can actually change them, yeah.
And to do something like this.
Okay.
So, let's see here. I think story is... I'm thinking, is story stronger than characters or worse than characters? I'd say characters are probably still stronger than story, but it's not by much. I think story is an S.
I have issues with intro.
A lot because of where it's going. I think most of Silco's story is what carries that. I do somewhat agree with you on Vi. I think she's probably one of the less interesting characters, one of the worst characters. I don't really have an issue with her. She's gay propaganda, but it's not shove it in your face gay propaganda.
Yeah, like you'd look at her and think, oh, there is a substantial chance this is a butch lesbian.
Yeah. So, continuing to characters, because I didn't really have much to say. I think most of what Sard said there was okay. I don't recall it too well. I had a couple issues with what he said about characters.
I take issue. Yeah, I take issue with Jace being classified as Captain America.
Yeah. I think characters
We'll talk about that later.
is probably a low CAC. I think this is carried by Silco a lot.
I forgot to mention Silco. I was going to talk about him, but then I glossed over him.
Victor
I like
is one.
Silco.
I don't know if he's going to die or not, but I imagine not. Jace is obviously surviving, right?
Yeah, Jace has to, right?
So Jace has to survive.
And Victor has to survive, by the way.
People think Mel's gonna survive, but I think Mel's probably gonna die. I think it would make sense.
Yeah, she's not a champion, so there's a substantial chance that she dies there.
Yeah, we still don't know if they kill off the champions or not. I think Victor probably survives, but it's up for bets.
Yeah.
I think Jace is certain.
Yeah.
So, assuming he survives, his arc is continuing, assumingly. But I thought he was okay. I don't think he was really carrying characters at all. I think Silco was by far the hardest carry. I liked Vander as well. I know you liked Vander, Sarf, but I think Silco is far better. Let's see here.
Vander just takes the whole, revolution.
So this was something I didn't expect. I liked Echo.
Yeah.
I actually rather liked Echo a lot.
Who's Echo again?
Black dude, white hair.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Firefly.
Q.
Yeah, QQQ. I'm just trying to think here. I think this is a low CAC. Let me port. I'm trying to argue against stars, but it's been a while. What's the normal size for a CAC? What's the default lowest size?
The default kek is
24?
21, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it
Sorry,
as...
no, it's 19.
If 19 is the default, I'll down it to like 15.
Okay. Yep.
I do, as much as it's not something super unique, I think we haven't seen this specific style of steampunk much, especially with the content that's going
Ultimately,
on.
yeah, it's steampunk. It is slight high fantasy. The rest of it's honestly the most low fantasy part of the League world, from what I'm told, and it is an existing franchise in
And
League of
usually when
Legends,
you see
which has an
stuff like
extensive
this, it's usually a black and white story pretty much. But this is very gray,
Yeah,
which I love. And that's what, if it weren't gray, if it were just a black and white type story, I think story would get docked massively.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Like
I
Vander,
kill for gray story.
in many ways, could be comparatively similar to
And
the other
refinement,
guy.
I don't see. I would average it out here with the rest, considering we don't have much to go off of. I'd put it as an S.
I guess the only thing to discuss would be if we think that releasing them in chunks as an act by act package.
I think that was worth. I didn't watch it as it came out though.
Yeah, I did. So that's it didn't splice it out of its mind. It was the right time for breaks. I didn't see any issues with the animation, which on something this visually intense was the biggest thing. And my only complaint is that there was supposedly a season 2 and that it's just slow in the making.
Civil.
Yeah. Yeah. It was in dev hell for quite a long time. Which means the pressure is on now that it won so many fucking awards. The spotlight's on it.
God, I hate when shit gets in dev hell.
I think on all of these, you are dead on. Like, I have no issues with any of the actual ratings you put up. And I'm in 100% agreement with all of them. Yeah, like people will simp for Imagine Dragons and Sting and everyone else who does their fucking commissioned pieces for this. The actual ambient score is actually one of the best parts of this. Like City of Progress is a phenomenal track that would beat the brakes off of most AAA scores, like for games. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna gloss over all of these scores. I won't change any of what you put down, but I do have additional things to note and maybe a couple more things in specifically characters and story to break out as well. And writing and acting too, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Here's another one. Yeah, that's one of the ambience where the Piltover introduction shot, basically. It's one of the very first ambient scores in there. Yeah.
You're so cryptic. It doesn't tell you anything.
Oh, a mage being cryptic. Gee.
Oh, so did he get the Hextech orbs from that?
Okay,
Or-
so Sarfnik is correct about one thing. That the in canon, the actual material that they get them from is not actually explained very well. It's actually this one little crystal. There's this race of like scorpion-like people out in, I think it's called Shurima. I don't actually know much about League lore, but from what I understand, they import that and use it for something else, like jewelry, and he's able to then retrofit it, basically like that in actual lore. They don't do a good job of explaining that, but they do a great job of explaining the Hextech system. Yes, like there were shit tons of retcons here. Like Singe mentioning that he has a daughter is, yeah, 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 the depleted version.
I don't know, I was thinking that he like had to get like in order to like power the tech, he had to like get obtain more.
Right, hence what they saw when why some of his rack wasn't full in his actual
Also,
lab.
you two kind of know me. I'm the type of person who enjoys things that are less popular and tends to not enjoy things that are more popular. If you get what I mean. So I didn't find everything as pleasurable as you did. Like I like the whole Victor storyline about him like being slowly corrupted. I found that really slow and predictable, and I was
You're fucking nuts.
yeah, but you see
Yeah.
it coming from a mile away. Just the minute.
Okay. If there were more content built out to it, it could easily have been one of the best. And by the way, that arc, his arc, is probably the one that needs to be worked on most in terms of coming to its canon conclusion, which is him basically trying to technologically ascend everyone like you're fucking black market people. Spoilers, but you could see that one coming a mile away too. Victor as a character, though, as an individual, I think is actually probably one of the keks. That might be a contentious thing, but a small kek, but a kek. Yeah, so he got shunted into Jace's story way too hard for his own story's good. But the way that it monkey branches out later on, I think they do it a little too late. It starts around episode 7-ish. I think it should have started in episode 5. They hint at that there's going to be a story in episode 5, but they don't do anything with it until like late act 2, which is a mistake. Okay, I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna replace Sard's answers because they're wrong. Yep, it's Sherlock Holmes, but hip hop, and it's great. He's
talking
literally
about
Sherlock Holmes, that poor bitch.
Imagine Dragons.
No, what's when he's Sherlock Holmes is Jinx. Discombobulate. Yep, entirely too short, but very well done.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's very realistic. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Star.
So, I'm going to go ahead and mow through these. Story. Sarf, my only issue with what your description of the story was is that you targeted out all of the League lore and didn't cover any of the actual narrative. Warcraft did, therefore I'm fine with story. Characters. Let's go through every character we see on the right, and I'm going to give them an individual rating and see if it comes out to something recognizable. Vi, despite being what I think to be the lowest in the pack, is still like a high B at least. I don't mind her at all. Caitlyn, I felt was kind of pointless, but also warrants a high B.
Lesbians, let's go.
Victor, I am actually a huge fan of Victor. Victor is my dark horse. Low kek for Victor, because I resonate with him extremely. Like, I did not expect to resonate with Victor at all. I fucking adore Victor's character. I know he is not for everyone. I know he's an acquired taste. Jinx, overrated. I'm going to put Jinx at a high A. All of her little psychosis and early stuff going on. Everyone thinks this is Jinx's show. It could not be further from the truth. Silco, easy kek. Probably my favorite character overall in the entire show. I really want to make a D&D character that's fairly similar to him at the time, and they nailed basically what my interpretation on it would have been, so no, I can't make that fucking character. So I'm mad, but the fact that the Arcane devs and myself would have gone that same direction is kind of amusing. Echo, again, loved Echo. I would say he's probably a close second to Silco in terms of actual archetypes. I wish they'd given him a little bit more content, but fine.
Yeah, I think that was good. Honestly, I like that.
I actually love Mel's character too, but as a side character, I actually love her mom's arc more. Her mom is the perfect imposition of what a realistic, hedonistic warmonger with some level of conscience would look like.
Yeah, I really, really liked her mom. Also, let's see here.
Jace, people will give Jace short shrift because he is Mr. McHandsome, Mr. McMain character. He actually has a fair amount of nuance to him, and I resonate with him a lot too because of how he conflicts with university standards.
Also based
honestly,
on
yes, exactly. I love the gigantic overarching dynamic that all three major factions, when I say pro-Silco Undercity and anti-Silco Undercity and Piltover Establishment, all have at least one peace-loving character and all have at least one warmongering character, which is fantastic.
Really,
so
really
Jace is your warmonger up top. Mel initially looked like it was going to be, but they actually switched positions. Mel being your peacemonger. Victor is kind of a monkey in the middle there, but if you were to align him with someone, he is a conscientious peacemonger, but you have to also consider that he's kind of a Zaunite. So Victor doesn't really count in this analysis, but you have Jace and Mel, who are the foils in Piltover. You have Echo and Vi, who are the foils in anti-establishment Silcoville. And then you have Silco and Jinx, who are actually foils of each other in pro-Silco Silcoville. Which, it's just really good all around. I'm a huge fan of that, and it definitely contributes to what War was saying about it being gray. Now, obviously, all of them have radically different personal ethics from one another. There's not a single character that I mentioned there whose ethics overlap. Except for maybe... No, there's none. Like, literally none.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. So that's golden there. I'm trying to think of other characters. Okay, Heimerdinger. Great support character. Heimerdinger is a fantastic support character. Also, hilarious design. Yordles are just meant for the screen. I love Yordles. Yordles are the best.
We're getting him as part of what's his name? Echo's arc now. So
yes, that's also a fantastic team up.
Yeah.
Let's think. Other characters. I think all the counselors are kind of lackluster, except for maybe Caitlyn's mom.
Yeah, but they're getting killed off anyway, so I think that's attention.
What? How?
Sarf,
so Bulboss. Bulboss is actually pretty cool too.
Sarf,
for as little screen time as Counselor Bulboss has, Counselor Bulboss acts as a very good character. What I
Okay,
don't like,
You mean the other counselors who
No,
aren't?
we don't mean like Mel, Jace, Heimerdinger.
Yes.
yeah,
We
like
mean the
all the
side
true named
characters.
ones. So Mel,
Okay,
Jace,
fine, yes.
yeah. So there are like 3 of them who I can't even name. There's the chick with the cog necklace,
Yeah.
the cog neck piece.
There's a
So
weird
here's
dude.
how.
Robot.
By the way,
Robot,
this is another tacit nod to just how cool their character design is. I don't even know their names. I remember their appearances
Yeah.
because of how well their actual structure design was. But it's clear that they didn't have enough time to actually give each of them their own arcs, but they gave them their own little personalities. You have the shrewd techmonger, who is the chick with the cog neck piece. You have the 2 politicians, one smooth, one greasy, both the guys in the red cloaks, one who hastily tries to curry favor with another, one that doesn't even realize that it's happening and just rejects it out of hand. Both of them who are incredibly corrupt, and both of them who wear red, but different physical archetypes, one a bit more elfish and one a bit more portly. So, great. Counselor Bulbos has a couple moments. My one issue with Counselor Bulbos is that when they vote to oust Heimerdinger, he has no reason to vote against Heimerdinger. I have no idea why the fuck Bulbos would have voted there. So, I don't know. Like, every other vote there is understandable, except for Bulbos. Whatever. He's a minor character, nobody cares. He has 3 lines.
How is
whatever.
his name spelled?
I think it's this. I'm not sure.
To Google him to figure.
I'm not sure actually. Now that I remember it, I think it's Bull. I don't know. Is that his name? That has to be his name, right?
Can't find it.
Bulbok. Sorry. Okay, so Piltover Council, Jace Talus, Counselor Bulbok, Cassandra Kierman. That's the one we know.
Yeah, I don't really understand Bulwark voting at all.
Because he is super mega anti-arcane. So, like, maybe you can say he's upset with the inaction of Heimerdinger to actually go in and basically turn the Undercity upside down, as he said, looking for it.
Yeah.
But it would seem that he wouldn't vote on a Jace proposal against someone who is like a lesser evil, as it were, to him, like through his ethics. That was just like a tiny little lore chink, but you see how deep I'm having to dig to try and find something I don't like? Like, it's tiny little shit like that. Did I miss any major characters at all?
Don't think so.
Savika. There we go.
Yeah.
I loved Savika. Savika's a fantastic character.
There wasn't much to her, but I liked all that there was.
I asked my dad who his favorite character was, and you know who he said?
Savika?
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
I can see
Kinda strange,
it, but
isn't
I
it?
just think there isn't much content to Savika that would make her a favorite.
So I've been conducting this sort of experiment since I very first finished Arcane. I go around and ask people who their favorite character is, regardless of how central they are to the story.
Right.
So, I would have said that my favorite character is Silco.
Yeah.
My dad said that his favorite character was Savika. My mom said
Savika
that her,
again?
Silco's under
right-hand man, or
Silco's-
right-hand
yeah.
girl, I guess.
Oh, the annoying one. Yeah.
My mom said Mel Medarda was her favorite character. Who's yours were?
I said it earlier.
Was it Echo or Silco?
It was Silco before you said it.
Okay. So, sheer overlap there. Sarf, who's
Okay.
yours?
Heimerdinger.
I can see it with Sarfnik. It literally looks like the Lorax. I can completely see it.
Yeah. And naturally, my cousin's favorite character was Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think there's a character for at least everyone in here. I don't think there's a single archetype that isn't filled in somewhat of a believable way.
And I also think that's why I haven't met anyone who actually dislikes the show.
Yeah.
Because there's at least one thing anyone can latch on to that they really enjoy.
Yep. The writing and acting is a clean S. Certain of the VAs are absolutely inspired in their respective roles.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you will about Jinx being the overplayed Harley Quinn foil, or the overplayed Harley Quinn parallel, rather. Her voice actress is fucking inspired. Both young and old, by the way. Matter of fact, they're probably two of the best in the series. Vi's voice actress is pretty good.
I like Victor's voice actor.
Victor's voice actor is really strong.
Silco monologue voice acting good.
Silco's voice is just. And then you obviously have the standard McStandard and Vander, whose performance was still pretty damn inspired.
Yeah.
You
could tell if you actually knew any story. Yeah, it's a complete cliche that he dies. I think that's a given. He's a mentor character. He's gonna die no matter what.
Yep, 100%. Traditional Obi-Wan Kenobi fallacy.
Yeah, which is fine. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Singed voice actor. Singed voice actor's
fucking
great. I don't really
remember his voice acting much, to be honest.
Sometimes death is mercy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But the process would be demanding, almost kind of...
Fuck, I wish we had voice acting as a rating scale on video games so I could give Warframe an S just for Hunao, or a Keck.
Yeah. Vainglorious whelp. I am loved. They all thirst for that piss-swamp comfort of being told what to think. That's good writing there. Strange for Warframe to do that, but yes. Yeah, like it's a close one too. Like if I were to have given my knee-jerk reaction without this discussion, maybe if a Keck minus were a thing. But S plus I think is right where Arcane belongs.
Okay, so Xena said Trolls back if we're gonna do Sleepy, but here's the thing: our next index is gonna be special guest because it's 15.
Yeah, we just have Troll in the next index.
Yeah.
So
there's the announcement. We'll have Troll on for next one.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
But we have taken such a slow time with these. We've changed up the plan.
In summation, well, we had Abe Lincoln and Windcraft and Arcane take up an hour and a half on their own.
This was
this was a good
final
one.
Time is 2 hours 12 minutes.
Yeah. So Loki
really good.
D plus, Abraham Lincoln S plus, Ray Binks B minus, Vermintide 2 or Rat Squadron S minus, Windcraft D plus, the lowest rating of the night tied with Loki, and Arcane S plus, highest rating of the night tied with Abraham Lincoln.
So Ray got the middle point.
Do we have any adjustments to be made?
Oh
I'm
my
going
god.
to go ahead and reduce Sarfik's rational merit for recent cringe.
Okay.
Or sorry, wait, not your rational merit, your philosophical merit. For recent cringe involving several items up to, but not limited to, the value of poli-sci as a major on an empirical basis. This will bring your rating down to a C+.
Okay.
Congratulations, you are now officially below Ray Binks in rating.
You are cringe. We also have Warcries come back and discuss this in a second. I did pass a couple things I wanted to be edited earlier, but now I don't remember because I did a tiny bit. Let's see. Let's go through everything. Colbert. Valheim. Big update since last time, I think. Yeah, last one was November.
Valheim is bad.
Have you not played the update?
Oh, the update is so influential to the game. We
Yes.
get to go kill a boss and mine an ore.
What did I miss? Come on.
You missed.
Would we like to go and kill some bosses or mine some ores?
Oh,
We were discussing Valheim, but he doesn't want to change it.
I too enjoy killing bosses and mining ores.
Also,
so-
Ward. Apparently, I am now below Ray Binks in rating. So if you want to argue,
Yes, I reduced his philosophical merit from a C to a D for recent cringe.
I'd completely be agreed with you that you should be far higher than Ray, but I cannot be bothered to argue. Because I want to finish this, because I've got stuff to
You
say.
see, the opportunity cost
Hey.
to defend you is too high, Sard.
Correct.
That is a poli-sci. That is literally a poli-sci thing. Oh my gosh.
You dare use my own spells
The
against me.
consequences of Sarfnik being lower rated than Ray Binks does not outweigh the cost of trying to argue for Sarfnik to be higher.
Correct.
Let's see. Core gameplay. I think core gameplay should be higher. I think sustainability should be higher. I think story is fine because it's gotten a real story. I think visuals is fine because it's a personal preference thing. I would personally give it a C.
Where even
score
is
B,
Valheim? What
that
number
makes
is it?
sense. Like, score, I'd
69,
honestly
69.
Be fine with giving, I'd be fine with giving score and actually docking it a C. Refinement, I'd give it a B or even an A. Community, that's fine. I think overall rating should come out at a B plus, A minus.
The community's pretty irrelevant for Valheim.
That's how it would go with me.
Are there like Valheim public servers or something?
Because I have been watching a lot of the content and it doesn't seem as bug-ridden as it was, I'm actually going to do this.
Was it super buggy last time you played?
Yes.
It's not extremely buggy
It's
anymore.
not very buggy. That's true.
Yeah. Isn't like Warcraft.
I guess it was buggy before, yeah.
It's going to be a tough thing for me to get Valheim up to snuff when it comes to other sandboxy types. I am going through right now, if you haven't noticed, while I could have been working on Hearth Adventures and whatnot, there are other games that are basically getting a pass-through with me right now, Subnautica being the most recent one. Harry Potter's going to be the next one. Deep Rock Galactic is obviously going to be the one that I'm kind of leading edge with right now, and it's going to be the main one before long.
Though.
No, but that's just one that I was comparing with Valheim in particular. I'm going through, passing through a bunch of other games. Valheim will be on that rotation at some point.
Okay.
I want to see if they are able to actually bring it back in my books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's all good. Let's see. Going through.
Okay. Are we good?
I think we're good.
Disney do anything recently? No. Okay.
Let's see what else. What else do we have? I had a couple things I wanted to review, but a couple of them I need to read up more again because I haven't looked at them in a while.
Has winter made you?
A while back. So this is what I wrote. I think a while back. Why is Gorbachev under the review section? What? we didn't do Gorbachev, did we?
No.
I wrote Trump, country scaling, Valheim, Ayn Rand with parentheses ethical egoism, and then Gorbachev for some reason, which should probably be. Let me move this. That should probably be in the other section. Honestly, I need to go look at most of those to review them because most of them are due to very specific reasons. So I think we're pretty much.
Any changes to maybe SCP, Secret Laboratory?
Shut up.
So that's
It
Shut the
actually,
fuck up,
maybe
Sarfik.
actually, wait. It should go lower
Why?
because of the gun rework.
But I argue new 939's stronger.
For
stronger.
gameplay, it should go to C.
I agree.
Aramis has no clue, but I
That
think
brings its average to an F minus.
yeah,
Sheep. Are you?
I do not care. Aramis and I are the same person, except I'm just the
Yeah.
superior variant.
Except on Valheim, yeah.
And also other things such as Ray Binks and Abe Lincoln, I guess.
No, that's just a split personality thing, and like. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm finishing my reading of the Bible at the moment.
Very
Actually,
good
it's an
fiction.
audiobook by James Earl Jones. Yeah, exactly. All right. That's it for tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us for the 14th Eisen Index public debate. Like them Hingabatloyancraft, and good night.